You know, quitting? No, I don't quit. Was I ever ready to quit? Hell no, I don't quit.
What's going on, y'all? Dante562. You know, I wanted to do this video as a response to the feedback I've been getting. You know, for those of you who don't know, I did a Victor Ortiz versus Lopez post-fight analysis, you know, in regards to Ortiz getting his jaw broken and him quitting once again. You know, and a lot of Ortiz supporters, they felt that I was kind of picking on Ortiz. You know, they kind of took it personal that, you know, I wasn't being fair, I wasn't being rational when it comes to, you know, Victor Ortiz's circumstances when he quit, right? With him having his jaw broken, you know. I'm getting messages sent to me. Come on, man. You know, the guy had a broken jaw. How can you fight like that? You know, I mean, you know, look at the pain you have to go through, you know, while you're fighting. Would you go through that? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? So with that being said, the first thing I want to let you guys know about me, you know, if you don't already know, you know, I used to box as an amateur. You know, now, you know, I train kids to box, you know, mainly my kids. With me saying that, this is what I want you guys to really understand. I want to make this very clear. Standards are set far more higher for a professional boxer than they are set for me and you. You know what I'm saying? People who aren't fighting right now. You know what I'm saying? Or people who've never fought before, who've never been in the ring, sparring, et cetera, et cetera. Standards are set more higher for these professional fighters. They're in the hurt business, right? More is expected out of them than would be the case for people who don't box. Okay? Now, with me saying that, obviously, there are situations where there are exceptions when you quit in the ring. And we're gonna get into that. Now, before I do that, let me go ahead and give you guys a little bit of a list of other known fighters that have quit in the past before. Devin Alexander, he quit against Tim Bradley. Nate Campbell quit against Tim Bradley. Vitaly Klitschko quit. Israel Vasquez, he quit. Chavez Sr. quit. Duran and Mike Tyson quit. Okay? And for those of you scratching your head with the Mike Tyson situation, I'm going to get into that in a minute. All right? But anyway, this is the thing with these people who have quit. The first thing you have to understand is they have only quit one time. When you do something one time, you haven't quite built a reputation of being a quitter. You know what I mean? So this is the reason why they don't get the type of backlash that Victor Ortiz is getting. Right? Okay, now, I want you guys to understand that let's just break down Victor Ortiz's, you know, all the times that he quit. Victor Ortiz has quit 3 times as a professional. He quit against Marcos Maidana, Floyd Mayweather Jr., and now Lopez, right? Now the first thing I want to talk about is the Floyd Mayweather situation, because I already know right now, Ortiz, you know, supporters, you're listening to this and you're saying, bullshit, man. He didn't quit against Floyd Mayweather. Floyd hit him with a sucker punch, blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that, right? Understand this, guys. Put yourself in Victor Ortiz's shoes, right? Now, Victor Ortiz has already quit before. Victor Ortiz, he's already quit many times as an amateur before. You can ask Amir Khan that. Amir Khan fought him and he quit against Amir Khan. Okay? Keep in mind, now with the Mayweather situation, you know, and I'm gonna be straight up, you know, all of us have pride, right? But Mexicans in particular, they have a lot of pride, right? You guys have a lot of pride, okay? Saying that, when Victor Ortiz went into this fight, he had a lot of pressure that he was under. You have a lot of Ortiz fans, not all of them, but you have a lot of Ortiz fans who hate Floyd Mayweather, right? A lot of people, a lot of Floyd Mayweather haters in general, they pay money to watch Floyd Mayweather lose. This is why Floyd Mayweather is the biggest draw in the sport. This is why Floyd Mayweather is the highest paid athlete in the sport. He is just like Muhammad Ali. He is in a situation that Ali was in the fact that you have at least half, if not more than half of the people paying money just to see him lose. Okay? The reason why I'm saying this is because Victor Ortiz goes in here, right? He goes in the ring with Floyd Mayweather. Everybody wants him to destroy Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Pride starts to set in. People are meeting, they coming up to Ortiz on the streets. Man, knock that motherfucker out. I want you to knock his ass out. You know what I'm saying? All this pride is instilled in Victor Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? Victor Ortiz can't go in there and get knocked out by Floyd Mayweather. Do you know how that would look for all Ortiz's supporters? You know how Ortiz would feel? Ortiz would rather get knocked out by anybody but Floyd Mayweather, right? So Ortiz has to live up to his supporters' expectations. So with me saying that, what are you going to do when you feel that you could possibly be on the verge of being knocked out? You're going to pull a Mike Tyson. What did Mike Tyson do when Holyfield was the first person to back Tyson all the way up to the ropes? You know what I'm saying? Because it had never been done before. A man who had already previously knocked out Mike Tyson. Now this is a rematch. Now pride is in effect. You know what I'm saying? Your pride is not going to allow you to be knocked out a second time, knowing that you have been bested. And there is nothing that you can do to deny that, right? So what does Tyson do? Tyson bites. He bites Evander Holyfield the first time. Now remember, Tyson's excuse for doing this is because he was getting headbutted by Evander Holyfield, right? So he has an excuse for doing it the first time. But what is his excuse for biting Holyfield ear off the second time? You can no longer use the headbutt excuse because you've already gotten revenge for the headbutt excuse, right? So why would he do it a second time? Mike Tyson did it a second time because Mike Tyson would rather get disqualified than get knocked out. Okay? The same thing that Victor Ortiz did. Victor Ortiz would rather get disqualified than get knocked out by Floyd Mayweather of all people. I can guarantee you Ortiz would rather get knocked out by anybody else rather than Floyd Mayweather. Okay? I mean, let's be real about this. Anthony Peterson, he did the same thing against Brandon Rios. Anthony Peterson, he was on the verge of getting knocked out against Brandon Rios. So what did Peterson do so he wouldn't be knocked out? He started throwing low blows. Then he gets a point deducted. He comes right back, throws another low blow. He wanted to quit. He wanted to be disqualified so he would not have to suffer a knockout loss. His pride could not take it. Okay? I'm talking strictly boxing. There's no bias, favoritism here. I'm talking straight boxing. Victor Ortiz, he quit in the Floyd Mayweather fight. Floyd Mayweather came out in that fourth round. Floyd Mayweather had already hurt Ortiz at the end of the third round. Floyd Mayweather, he started to see Ortiz's face swelling up all rapidly. And Floyd Mayweather already knew in the back of his mind that Ortiz was a quitter. So Floyd Mayweather said, let me try to take this fool out in the fourth round. This is how Floyd was looking at the situation, right? Floyd throws a damn near 10-20 punch combination. Okay? He's trying to knock out Ortiz. Ortiz Ortiz, he rallies back with a nice combination at the end of the round, right? But then when Ortiz looks up, Floyd Mayweather's looking down at him, smiling, like he's playing with his little son. You feel me? When Ortiz seen this, Ortiz realized that this guy ain't going nowhere. I'm not going to beat this guy. And eventually he's going to come back with another combination, just like the combination that Floyd Mayweather threw in the beginning of the round. Ortiz is thinking in his head, Floyd is going to do this again after this smile. So what does he do? He says, the hell with getting knocked out by Floyd Mayweather. I'm going to find a way to quit. That's what he did. He did the same thing Tyson did. He did the same thing Anthony Peterson did. Okay? Like I told you guys earlier, when you have only quit once, we don't really know if you are a quitter in the back of your head. We're not going to judge you as a quitter. You may get a little bit of backlash, but you've only done it once, right? Let me give you guys an example. First of all, I want to say before I give you this example, I truly believe that every boxer has at least one quit pass. That means you could quit one time in your career. You quit anytime after that, you on your own. Okay? So now let me just give you guys an example, an analogy, if you will. Imagine, me, having my day job, right? And I can relate to this because when I was younger, I've been in this situation before. Let's say you got 2 employees, right? You got one guy, he's been late 3 or 4 times in 1 month, right? You got another guy, he's been late once in the whole month, right? Who is going to look the more reliable? Which one would look more responsible? Matter of fact, I can give you guys one of my own personal experiences. I remember when I was like, 19, 20, still young and immature. I remember I had a little job, right? Didn't really take it serious. But, I'm coming in late whenever I feel like it, And I remember the boss told me, he was like, if you late one more time, I'm going to have to let you go, right? So I remember I went a long ass time, without being late because I didn't want to lose my gig. So I went a long time. I'm talking about like about 3 months without being late, right? So one day I'm on my way to work, right? Everything is going good. All of a sudden, I get a damn flat tire, right? I ain't got no spare. I'm just assed out. I still make it to work, but I'm late, right? Guess what the boss do? He fired my ass. That's right. He fired me. You know why he fired me? He fired me because he had already gave me chances before. He fired me because I had a reputation of doing this. Even though I had proof, right? Even though I had proof that it wasn't my fault that I had a flat tire. It wasn't my fault that I was late. Even though I had the proof, he didn't care anymore. Why? Because I had already done it previously. More than once, I had already done it before. This is exactly what Victor Ortiz has done. Can it be argued that it wasn't his fault that he quit with a bad broken jaw? Yes, it can be argued, right? Even though we know that other fighters have fought with a broken jaw before, right? Even though we know Muhammad Ali fought with a broken jaw, Arthur Abraham, he fought with one. There was one person, there was one viewer who sent me a message, and he made a lot of sense. He had pretty much of a neutral standing on the matter, and basically I'm paraphrasing what he said, but he basically said, you can say it's partially Ortiz's fault because he quit, but then at the same time, On the other hand, you could say he kind of did have a good reason to quit. Now this guy, he's a trainer, like I am. He's a boxing trainer, and he also said, if it were me, if I was the trainer in that corner, I would have told Ortiz, come on, let's not quit. Let's work on a strategy to work around your jaw. You feel me? He's saying that's what he would have done. And I totally agree with that assessment. But this is where it makes Ortiz look a little bad. Garcia, Ortiz's trainer, by Ortiz's own admission, Garcia actually wanted Ortiz to continue. Ortiz was the one saying, no, man, I can't do it. You feel me? Everybody's sending me messages. Come on, man. How you expect a person to keep fighting with a broken jaw? Even this man's own trainer is telling him to continue. Ortiz could have did many things in that ring. Ortiz could have started moving around on his toes. He could have started keeping his hands up high. You know what I'm saying? Protecting that jaw. It was only what? It was only about 4 more rounds left. There were many things that Ortiz could have done. You feel me? He did not do them. Like I said before, when you quit and it's not necessarily your fault, people are going to revert back to all the other times that you quit in the past. People are going to look at it as you already have a reputation of quitting. This is the reason why when people come out of jail, when people come out of prison and they're on parole, they have a probation officer, even if they do the smallest shit, sometimes it ain't even their fault. They go right back to jail. Why? Because they already have a reputation of breaking the law. They've already given people the impression that they can't be trusted. They're not reliable. Okay? So did Ortiz have a good reason to quit? Yeah, he had a good reason to quit. Does Victor Ortiz have a reputation of quitting? Yes, he has a reputation of quitting. The bottom line is Victor Ortiz, he's a decent fighter. He has some good skill, but he is weak-minded psychologically. He may go on to win some titles in the future. Matter of fact, they're talking about Ortiz wanting to do the rematch with Lopez, and of course, Ortiz has a good chance of winning that fight. He was winning this fight, but Lopez was closing the gap. I would love to watch that rematch. Ortiz is an exciting fighter to watch. But unfortunately for Ortiz, the blueprint is out for everyone to see. In other words, the blueprint has been advertised on how you beat Ortiz. As long as you stick around and you can withstand his power, you have a very good chance to break him down psychologically. You feel me? Okay, so let me go ahead and get into this Canelo Alvarez situation. Now, man, I swear every time I look at a boxing website and they're talking about Canelo, I get so damn upset. Because soon as I think that this man is about to step up and fight a legitimate contender at 154, they end up talking about some more bullshit to where he's going to fight a fighter that is tailor-made for him. I told you guys about 2 videos ago that they were talking about Victor Ortiz. And if they didn't give Victor Ortiz, they were going to probably do Carlos Quintana. This shit is a joke, you guys. You know what I'm saying? This shit is a joke. I keep hearing some of these, Canelo fans. You guys keep sending me messages saying, oh, Austin Trout is a joke. He ain't nothing. Nobody knows who he is. He's not a draw. Here I'm hearing people say Lara sucks and all of this kind of stuff like that. Look, guys, you guys can't have it both ways. Because if these guys suck, if they're not that good, if they're nobodies, if no one has ever heard of them, then you're going to have to explain why Canelo was fighting Matthew Hatton for the title. You know what I'm saying? Why was he fighting Alfonso Gomez? Why was he fighting Jose Cotto? None of these people didn't even know that Matthew Hatton, people didn't even know Ricky Hatton had a brother. But all of a sudden, Canelo was fighting him for a title. To add insult to injury, Canelo actually fought Matthew Hatton for a title at a division that Matthew Hatton had never even fought at. They were supposed to fight at a catchweight. It turned out that Canelo didn't even make the weight. And he's fighting a guy who no one's ever heard of, who ain't worth a goddamn. And that's who they decide to match him up for a legitimate title. Not Venus, Venus Meisterin, which I know I didn't pronounce that name right, but you guys know who I'm talking about. Vanis or Vane, whatever his name is. Another undefeated 154-pounder fighter he could have fought. They didn't have him fight him for the title. They didn't have him fight Lara for the vacant title. They didn't have him fight Austin Trout or Canine Bundridge. Look, man, it was talk a couple days ago. I had already said in my last video, Canelo is not going to fight Austin Trout. He's not going to fight Lara. Those are the toughest fighters at that division. He's not going to fight them. I even said if he fought Canine Bundridge, I personally would give him credit because Canine Bundridge is a good-ass fighter. You know what I'm saying? I even said I thought Canelo would probably beat Bundridge, but it's still a respectable step-up fight for Canelo, right? I mean, he could have even fought Carlos Molina, which would have been another legitimate step up, right? But Canelo is fighting, he's possibly fighting Carlos Katana. This is a joke, you guys. This is a joke. I don't want nobody sending me messages no more telling me that Lara and Trout, they ain't nothing and they ain't this, because we already know that Canelo has fought fighters that ain't nothing. You feel me? So if he done already fought a whole bunch of ain't nothing fighters, how come he won't fight another ain't nothing fighter with Lara and Trout if they ain't nothing? Okay? Talking about they not marketable, they're not this, they're not that. Look, man, I don't understand you Canelo fans. Don't you want to believe deep down that your guy can beat anybody in his division? I mean, damn all this Trout is not marketable and this and this and this and that. Do you really want to support a guy who only fights people that he knows that he can beat and he's never fought not one undefeated fighter before? Canelo has never fought one undefeated fighter before. You feel me? He's never fought an undefeated fighter before. He's never even fought a young and up-and-coming contender that's trying to do the exact same thing that he's trying to do. Whatever, man. That's all I got to say about this. If Canelo fights Katana, you know what I'm saying, that is a fucking joke. Okay? It's a damn joke, and Golden Boy Promotions need to be slapped in the damn face for even trying to sell it. Okay? I want to see how good Canelo is. I want to see Canelo go against somebody who's young and hungry just like he is. When he get in the ring, I mean, yeah, there's a good chance that Canelo is going to be a future star. And yeah, they're bringing him up slow. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, I want to know how good he is. We will not know how good he really is until he steps in there with either Austin Trout, Lara, Bundridge, you know what I'm saying? The other guy's name that I cannot pronounce, Vanis Meisterin or whatever. You know, these are real good challenges. Okay? We know he couldn't get the Miguel Cotto fight because Cotto wasn't ready for September. You know, and yeah, I agree with you guys. Cotto would be a good fight. It would be a good step up for him. But still, he has to fight a young, hungry fighter. At least just one. At least just one. You feel me? Like I said, I could name all kind of champions, including Floyd Mayweather, who came up when they were young. And they fought another young, undefeated fighter coming up. Marquez did it. A lot of people did it. Canelo needs to do it. Okay? So that's all I got to say about this. All right? Y'all go ahead and leave y'all comments. Peace. I'm on to the next one.
I'm on to the next one. On to the next. On to the next one. On to the next.